Hello, how are you? Hope you're good. Today I'm here to talk about my selected owls. This is for ordinary wizarding level readathon. If you haven't heard about it, I'm just gonna suggest the video somewhere here so you can go ahead and check that out. But for those of you who have already seen that and are participating or are just curious, here's what I decided to go for. As always, I have my ordinary level challenges right here. So basically what I've decided is to select choices for every subject just in case I read more than I anticipated. So I have selected 12 books or comic books or graphic novels or whatever, 12 reads. I've selected 12 reads for this. I will be prioritizing some owls over the other ones because I have selected sort of a career that I would like to go for in the wizarding world. There is a big Harry Potter Wikipedia thing going on the internet if you want to check it out, the possible career paths after finishing Hogwarts. Some of them had details on what you would need for the owls and the newts, and some of them didn't. If you've decided on a career that you don't have the owls already preset on the internet, I suggest you just select the ones that make the most sense. So my second choice was to work as an unspeakable, who is a person that works in the Ministry of Magic in the Department of Secrets place. and I made up a list of what would that entail and what would make more sense for these people to have as owls and newts. You just use your logic and brain to do that. However, the one that I decided to go for at the end already had a list. I also need to throw that out there, but that you don't have to know what profession you'd like to be. Just choose the ones that seem the best for you. So the career that I chose for myself is a curse breaker, which is when I read up on that, it's basically like a magic equivalent of Indiana Jones or like Lara Croft. What it says is like an occupational title denoted to witches and wizards who removes, counters and breaks curses placed on objects or places for a living. It is best known to be sought after by the Gringotts Wizarding Bank, or you can also work in the Ministry of Magic, or I assume you can be freelance, which I would probably go for. Disabling or countering curses in ancient tombs or other historical sites. So it's basically like an archaeologist as well. So that kind of thing. And I think the page was specifically set for like Gringotts things. So one of the owls or newts that are required is arithmancy. But we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that because maybe it's I wanna keep an option for Gringotts hiring me as well. So let's go to the actual TBR. If I haven't mentioned, this readathon is gonna take place on the 2nd of April and gonna run until the 29th of April, so the full 4 weeks of April. So let's go to my primary TBR. So first, as I said, we have arithmancy, to have a number in the title or on the cover. So I've decided to go with One of Us is Lying, and this is by Karen McManus. This is supposed to be like a thriller type of YA book about something that happens in school, I think, or like a murder. And there's some sort of secret, and someone dies 24 hours before he could pass their deepest secret online. All of our characters are suspects, and one of them is lying. So it's sort of like a thriller mystery type of thing. And I've been meaning to read this for a while now, and I thought it was, you know, as good time as ever and fit the description. Next thing for me would be to take a Defense Against the Dark Arts exam, and that would be a book about or featuring a secret society. So for me it's actually really good because I'm currently rereading Harry Potter. The next book in my reread is actually Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, so this is gonna be the book for Defense Against the Dark Arts, and it just doubles up for Dumbledore's Army and Order of the Phoenix, both of which are secret societies, so couldn't be more perfect than that. Next up is potions, and this was read a book with or about alchemy, and I've decided to go and read the volume 1, 2 and 3 of Full Metal Alchemist. This is a fairly lengthy, but this is manga, so it shouldn't take me too long. I haven't actually read the manga, but Full Metal Alchemist is my absolute favorite anime, so I was waiting for my memories to sort of like dull up a bit because I want to be semi-surprised. So it's been a few years now since I watched it the last time, because I watched it more than once. But I think this is good time as ever to go ahead and try the manga of that. Next up is Transfiguration. That one was a hard one to find, but it requires a book that features some sort of shape-shifting, transfiguration, or has a cat on the cover, or turning someone into something, and this is like a little bit stretching it, but it's still technically people being something else or being through something else. So I'm gonna read Ready Player One. I know this could like also go for arithmetic because it has one in the title, but it's here now. So Ready Player One is a book that has a movie adaptation that came out this month. Haven't seen it yet, but I really want to read the book first. And this is about a guy who goes into this virtual reality and controls a character in that virtual reality, and there's some sort of it's a gaming book type of thing. I don't really know much about it because I don't really want to, but I know that he like uploads his consciousness or something like that, like Sword Art Online, maybe that's what I think, might be wrong, but yeah, he controls his player and he like sort of stops living while doing that, you know, because it's virtual reality. So I'm gonna count that as transfiguration of a sort, because I'm sure it is. It's virtual reality. It's not his real body, but it's sort of him still, you know. We're gonna count this. Then we have Charms, which is probably the easiest to find a book for because it only says read a fantasy. And for this one I actually have a comic book, and it's the third one in Lock and Key series by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. And this is the third volume and it's called Crown of Shadows. This is definitely a fantasy graphic novel or comic book because it deals with things that are not real. I'm not gonna speak about the third one because I don't actually know what it's gonna deal with, but this is basically the whole series is about a family that moves into like this old family mansion thing, and they have a lot of supernatural things going on there, and especially from the children's perspective they can see a lot of keys that open different things, and it's really quite dark because it deals with a lot of loss and death and uncertainty, but it's also it's a really interesting series so far, and I really want to go into the third one, so I thought I'll choose it for Charms because there's a lot of like magic going on here as well, so I thought it was fitting. And the last one for the career would actually be Ancient Runes, which originally I didn't even think of taking. And the prompt for this one is to have a symbol on the cover, and I'm actually gonna go with this book that I've been trying to read for way too long now as well. There's a theme going on here. And this is the World of Warcraft Chronicle Volume 1. This is basically a history of World of Warcraft in like this way massive book. And World of Warcraft is a game, it's like an RPG game that I love to play, and Logan is a massive fan as well. He just plays it constantly, and I've really been meaning to come back to it properly, and I feel like starting to know the actual history of it would really help me out with that. I don't know how well you'll see this, but in the background there are like symbols and runes, and maybe better on this side. Can you see that? There's symbols on it. Quite like subtle, but they're symbols. I'm quite excited about this. This is a very uncomfortable book to read, but I'll get through it. Hopefully. And it's a little bit intimidating because it's a really massive world, so just need to get on with that. So those are all of the owls that I need to take to be able to continue with my Curse Breaker career path. But the month of April is when the quarterly book club live stream is gonna happen. I think it's the 27th or 28th Saturday, whichever day is Saturday. And the book for this quarter is actually Invictus by Ryan Groden, and this is a time travel sci-fi book. It's not a short book, and I don't really need it for my owls, but I need to read it either way, and it's a sci-fi, so it fits the astronomy exam prompt, which is read a sci-fi, and so I'm gonna take astronomy as well. So all in all, I am aiming to read at least those 7, which is still a lot for me, even though I did try to include a graphic novel or comic and a manga in there. It's still a lot for me. I also wanted to have the backups for things because there's quite a few owls that I would realistically want to take if I were at Hogwarts. I would definitely aim for like a Hermione level. So if all goes well, I'm hoping to do the following as well. So we also have Herbology, and for Herbology the prompt was read a book with nature related word in the title, and I have ordered this book and I don't have it yet, but it's supposed to arrive soon, and that would be the Avatar The Last Airbender collection. And that one's called North and South, but it's the only one that I haven't read yet, and I really wanted to order it and get it over with, because I've been avoiding ordering it because it's really expensive, but I really want it. So you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And obviously the nature related word is air, and also I felt like for Herbology this would be a really great pick because obviously all of the bending powers are nature related. Avatar: The Last Airbender, the whole series, is very much in touch with the nature. Originally though I chose Hazelwood, and I really wanted to read that one as well, but Avatar just topped that. Then we have Care of Magical Creatures, which I think would be one of my favorite subjects in Hogwarts. This one was to read a book featuring magical creatures, or that has a magical creature of some sort on the cover. I sort of accidentally fulfilled both of these because it's the actual Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them book. So this is more of like a coffee table book, where it's a lot of pictures of all of the beasts and the descriptions about them, and I feel like there's some history bits at the beginning, I think. And it's a really beautiful book, and I want to learn more about this, and I feel like this should hopefully not take me too long. I am a really slow reader, but it all depends on the month, guys. I'm so like terrified but so excited. And there's all of these amazing creatures mentioned on the back, and I want to learn about them because I'm sure I don't know all of them, and I feel like this would be really close to actually sitting the exam or like reading a course book. So really excited about that. I think I'm gonna try and add this one to the 7 ones that I have already, but yeah. Now for the divination, I really struggled finding one because obviously the Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix would also have a prophecy, but I am already using it for Defense Against the Dark Arts, and I was just really struggling finding the book with the prophecy. And then I was like, why did I pick these prompts that are so hard? But it's part of the challenge, so you know. There were not that many options, and for some reason I didn't really... I know people say for me that I should read Percy Jackson, but I just feel like it doesn't call for me. But I've decided that if I do have time, this is probably gonna be one of my last choices, probably, I don't know, we'll see. If I have time, I'm gonna go ahead and read Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, the first one, is that how it's called? I don't have it at the moment, but I'll get it if I have time, because that one's apparently something to do with a prophecy. And I'm sure it's a very interesting book, it just doesn't, I don't know why. Maybe I would just get like down in the rabbit hole and would love it. Then we have History of Magic, and this is to read a historical fiction, and I'm gonna be super cheeky, and if I have time and if I can get my hands on it, I'm gonna read Quidditch Through the Ages, because technically it is about history of something. It just happens to be about magical history, but did I specify it's supposed to be in Muggle history? No, I didn't. And I saw a lot of people are also selecting the Harry Potter History of Magic book, which is like a similar to this thing type of book. And I was like, yes, you're my kind of people. I'm also not big on historical fiction, so that's another reason why. And then the last subject is Muggle Studies, and for that one we have to actually get a Muggle non-fiction book. And I thought I'm gonna give another go to The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Fuck. It's by Sarah Knight, and I think I started reading it and it was like 25 pages in or something like that. It's a self-help type-ish book, and I really don't get along with these. I really don't, but I thought I'll give it a go because it sounds like, you know, it's catchy and they did a good thing with like, ooh, intrigue, and so I got it, and you know, I might give it another go. It's not a long book, so it's like 200 pages or something, so I might give it a go, but we'll see how this goes. Divination and Muggle Studies are probably the owls that are gonna be like pushed to the very last priority. But yeah, those are my choices. I've been absolutely loving reading and retweeting your owl selections for this readathon. If you haven't joined our family on Twitter, do so at this handle. It's also gonna be just linked down below as well if you want to join that Twitter, because I think I'm gonna do a lot of... I'm not entirely certain if I'm gonna vlog the experience. I'm probably just gonna do updates on Twitter and maybe on Instagram, but Twitter is probably gonna be the main place where I talk about this stuff, because you know, I created a separate Twitter for this, so might as well. Are you guys excited? Let me know about your TBRs, share with other people who are not on Twitter, you know. I am so excited. April cannot come fast enough. I'm so excited. I'm literally a child. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about the selection. Let me know how you are as always, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!